Hi everyone! Once again, my name is Alexis Kernan. I'm a transfer junior, originally from New Jersey, but now living life here in Tampa, Florida. As stated in my previous Global Citizens, the music video that I selected is Country On by Luke Bryan, which again was released in 2022, where Bryan thanks and highlights all of the essential workers and all of those people working in our country who don't get as much appreciation as they should. He uses Country On to really celebrate their roles and the impact that they make on our communities every single day. This music video really connects with Global Goal 16, which is supporting peace, justice, and strong institutions. This music video also directly connects to Global Goal 16, peace, justice, and strong institutions, because it really focuses on recognizing the people and institutions that support peace, safety, and accountability in our society. More specifically, Target 16.1, which is reducing violence and promoting safety, and Target 16.6, which is creating effective and trusted institutions. And with that, we are going to go ahead and move on to the terms from the chapter that I found applicable to Country On by Luke Bryan. The first one is stereotypes, and a stereotype is really just a broad generalization of a group of people, which really oversimplifies and ignores individual differences. One example that's used in the textbook, again on page 67, is the idea that gay men are emotionally sensitive, claiming that and making the stereotype that if you are gay, then you are emotionally sensitive, which isn't necessarily correct at all. So, again, that's kind of just explaining that people tend to stereotype certain groups of individuals without actually understanding that it's not true for every individual that is an identifier of that group. From 2 minutes and 15 seconds to 2 minutes and 25 seconds into the Country On music video, the stereotypes come into play as the video kind of highlights farmers working in the fields, but instead of reinforcing that stereotype that farmers are like unskilled laborers or people who don't work as hard, the video tends to reframe them as those essential providers that strengthen society, and it does so through the lyrics of the music video as they are showing these farmers working hard in the fields. This really does show how media can affect our perception of individuals and groups of individuals, and how that plays into it. Term number 2 from the chapter can be found on chapter 3, page 74, and that is identity. Now, identity is essentially just those characteristics and self perceptions that really define how we see ourselves, who we are, and also define how we connect to different groups. So, on page 74 of chapter 3, the book kind of talks about people identifying themselves different ways. So, some people identify themselves with their culture and their background, other people identify themselves with traits such as I'm artistic or I'm outgoing. And so, identity can come from multiple facets of existence. Now, term number 3 comes from chapter 3, page 97, and it is credibility. Now, credibility is the degree to which someone who is communicating is seen as trustworthy and credible. These are people who are knowledgeable and believable in the subject in which they are communicating about. The book kind of brings up examples of certain individuals being credible for certain things. So, for example, you believe more the credibility of medical advice if it's coming from a doctor, or if the barista at your local coffee shop is giving you a coffee suggestion, you're going to believe that they are more credible to be giving you that advice because, again, they kind of have training and expertise in those subjects as compared to just a random person giving you advice who doesn't exactly have the background that these individuals do. Now, throughout the Country On music video, that credibility is built because Luke Bryan highlights real individuals who are in these occupations and these real individuals who deserve to be appreciated rather than just highlighting actors. From 55 seconds to a minute and 5 seconds, for example, there's a police officer shown in uniform, and it really just reinforces the trust that we have in those institutions by really pushing that message in authentic representation. One thing that kind of really surprised me overlooking this Global Citizens activity and the music video Country On was really how much of an influence things like music videos can have on our perception of such big industries, such as our essential workers and our emergency workers as well. It really does go to show that in just a few minutes, Luke Bryan was really able to challenge stereotypes, affirm identities, and also build credibility for these groups that often get overlooked. And so I think that's really important, especially in today's world where media is just spread so quickly and so vastly in such a short amount of time. But yeah, that's my overview of Global Citizens Activity 2, A Country On by Luke Bryan. My name is Alexis Kernan. Goodbye.